Hey, welcome everybody to the June 22nd, 2022 meeting of the Oak Grove Community Council. My name is Joseph Edge. I'm the chair, and I'll be leading you through tonight. And we actually have, we're a little short-staffed on our board tonight, and we also don't have everything on the agenda that we intended. So it might be kind of a short show tonight, but we'll get it moving through. So the first thing I'd like to do is have our board members in attendance introduce themselves. And so again, my name is Joseph Edge. I'm the chair, and I live in the River Forest neighborhood. Jane, could you introduce yourself, please?
Good evening, Jane Civiletti, the treasurer, and I live on the corner of Oak Grove Boulevard and Fair Oaks Avenue.
Thank you. And Rich, could you introduce yourself, please?
Sure, I'm Rich Nippon, and I am a general board member. I live about 3 blocks due south of the Fred Meyers on Oak Grove.
And those are our board members in attendance tonight. So with that, we'll move into the regular attendance. So what I'll do is I'll move through the list. I'll call you by your name that shows up in your display name that shows up in Zoom. I'll ask you to unmute yourself and say your first and last name and the name of the street that you live on so that we can track attendance. So let's see, we'll start with Amanda Trujillo.
Hi, Amanda Trujillo. I'm on Linden Lane, just off of Grove Boulevard.
Thank you. Dave Dovac. Sorry, we didn't hear you.
Dave Dovac, I live at Rose.
Awesome, thanks, Dave. Anita.
Anita Blackmar on Fair Oaks Avenue.
Thank you. Jean Fifield.
Jean Fifield on Courtney, just east of River.
Thank you. Heidi Bullock.
Good evening, Heidi Bullock. I live on Hillside Drive, so technically in Jennings Lodge, but I am a representative of the Oak Lodge Water Services Board. So I'm the newest board member for now. And so I'm here just observing and listening and happy to take questions back to the board if necessary.
Thank you. Carrie Shanklin.
Hi there, my name's Carrie Shanklin and I work for Clackamas Fire District number 1, and I'll be just doing a little presentation later.
Thank you. Linda Seals.
I'm Linda Seals and I live on Woodland Way.
Thank you. Marilyn Wall.
I'm Marilyn Wall. I live on Alder Crest at the Old Field End.
Mitra Nushiravani.
Mitra Anusharavani. I live on Ruby Drive.
Thank you and welcome. Pam Horan.
I'm Pam Horan. I'm at Rose Villa.
Sarah Quay.
Hey, Sarah Quay on River Road.
Sue Conahan.
Sue Conahan on Parkview Circle.
Thank you. Susan Sean's iPad.
Hi, I live in Rosevilla.
Thank you. Suzanne Wolf.
I'm Suzanne Wolf, and I live on Southeast East Avenue, which is located on Oak Grove Boulevard by the fire station. I also will be presenting tonight about the Trolley Trail Festival.
Thank you. Tom Civiletti.
Tom Civiletti, Fair Oaks Avenue.
Thank you. Tom Hammond.
Good evening, Tom and Jolene Hammond. We live on Viewcrest Drive.
Thank you and welcome. Tom Hogan.
Tom Hogan, Oatfield, between Thiessen and Concord.
Thank you. And Vanderbilt.
I'm Baldwin Vanderbilt. I live on Neff Road, 3 doors up from Stringfield Park.
Awesome. Thanks, everybody. And if we didn't get you, please use the chat to connect with Jane Civiletti and let her know, first and last name and the name of the street you're on so we can capture your attendance. With that, I think I will turn it over to Jane for the treasurer's report.
Thank you, Joseph. Our brief treasurer report is nothing has changed. We have the exact same amount of money as we did last time. No money in, no money out, $1,596.18.
Thank you, Jane. And then let's see. So we don't have attendance, meeting attendance or meeting minutes from last month. We'll do that next month. So we'll skip that this time and we'll go right into our first presentation, which is Suzanne Wolf for the Trolley Trail Festival. Suzanne, take it away.
Okay, are you able to hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, very good. First of all, I'd like to tell you that I am president of Historic Downtown Oak Grove, which is the Oak Grove nonprofit, and our mission is to revitalize the historic downtown Oak Grove district and also to establish positive social, economic, and community growth for all of Oak Grove and the businesses and residents of Oak Grove. Tonight, I would like to share with you information about the Oak Grove Trolley Trail Festival, which is scheduled to happen on Saturday, July 16th, between 11 o'clock and 4 o'clock, which is a little more than 3 weeks away. I would like to share with you a list that I made that should probably take about 15 minutes. I would like to give you a full report about the status of the Trolley Trail Festival at this time. First of all, the budget is looking very healthy for us, but it is in a little flux right now with some changes in the income and expenses. We do expect to either break even after the festival or most likely have funds left over for next year. So that's exciting for us. And that's all thanks to our sponsors and our vendors. What I would like to do is I would like to list for you our sponsors. We have 19 sponsors who have contributed to the festival in a significant way. 11 of those are cash sponsors, and they are the On Point Credit Union, the Oak Grove Community Council, the Oak Lodge Water Services District or Authority, if you can correct me on that. The Washman Car Wash on McLaughlin, the Clackamas Federal Credit Union, Portland, Milwaukee, Elks Lodge number 142, Bright Star Insurance, Comics Adventure, which is on McLaughlin, Milwaukee Pizza, and Five Guys, the hamburger franchise. 8 are in-kind sponsors, The new urban high school is allowing us to use their building so that community members can tour the building on the day of the festival. Awakening Coffee is providing food, beer, and wine, not only during the festival hours, 11 to 4, but even after the festival hours, 4 to 8 o'clock. They will also have music in the back for you as well. The Oak Grove United Methodist Church, they are providing children's activities in the church parking lot. Four Seasons Screen Printing is providing us with 30 t-shirts, printed t-shirts. North Clackamas Parks and Rec District are providing us with printed materials. The Oak Lodge Community Emergency Response Team is assisting us with foot traffic. And then last but not least, the Rose City Clowns may be participating. I am still in the process of working that out with them. So we are thrilled, to say the least, with the support that we have received from these various sponsors. Also, I would like to share with you this evening information about our vendors. At this time, we have 44 vendors who are fully registered. That means that they have sent in their application. They have also sent in their payment and a certificate of insurance. We have 9 vendors who have applied, but they are not fully registered at this time. And so we are working with them to get fully signed up. Out of the 44 vendors who are fully registered, 22 of them are for-profit, and the other 22 are for a nonprofit. You can expect to see a children's area in the church parking lot that I mentioned, where they will have free children's activities. Also, too, you can expect to see music, live music by local bands at the corner of Arista and Oak Grove Boulevard. You can expect to see classic cars being shown on the festival grounds. And I mentioned New Urban High School tour and the food, beer and wine. Oh, there's also going to be lounge areas for people to get out of the sun if needed and just sit down, relax, and enjoy each other's company. There will be restrooms, plenty of restrooms, one in the church and one in Awakening. However, Awakening will also have 2 porta potties in the back. And then we also have scheduled 2 porta potties to be near the music venue, as well as near New Urban High School. A little bit about our schedule. Committee members, festival committee members are going to start as early as 7 o'clock in the morning. And the vendors can start coming at 8 o'clock in the morning through 11 o'clock. The Oak Grove Boulevard will be completely closed off from 7 o'clock to 11 o'clock from Rupert to Cedar. Even the side streets, Arista, Lee, will be closed as well, except at Rupert, which is where the vendors will be able to come and go as they set up their booths. 11 o'clock to 4 o'clock, the Rupert will be closed off to Oak Grove. not, excuse me, I want to restate that. Oak Grove will be closed off at Rupert to ensure that our attendees are safe. Rupert, though, will remain open throughout the festival. The OCERT members will be acting as crossing guards at Rupert so that people can cross Rupert safely from the church parking lot to the festival grounds from Rupert to Cedar. And then at 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock, Rupert will reopen. Only Rupert will reopen, allowing the vendors once again to come and go as they break down. A little bit about printed materials. We have started to distribute this week the flyers and postcards to businesses along Oak Grove Boulevard. Banners and lawn signs will be going up around the beginning of July. Social media, we are featuring individual vendors on our Facebook page, as well as let's see, Instagram and one other platform, which I'm not recalling right now. We will be posting the new Urban High School tour on Facebook once New Urban posts it on their page. We will then share it on our page as well. And that post will include a QR code, which will link you to a schedule where you can sign up for the New Urban High School tour before you go to the festival. However, you will also be able to, if you would like, to sign up at the festival for the tours as well. And I might mention that the tours are being held from 12 o'clock to 2 o'clock, so not the full day of the festival. We have been working with the Clackamas Review. We have posted at this point in time an ad on their online event listing. And next week, we will be sending them an ad that we created that they can publish in their paper for the 2 consecutive weeks prior to the festival date. So you can look for those. The Oregonian also listed for us an ad in their summer event guide. We worked with the county sheriff office to have a security risk assessment. And at this particular festival, they are not recommending that we need officers present. They consider us a low risk event. However, OCERT will be present. And it's my understanding that they are trained in search and rescue, so that may be of some help if needed. Parking will be at a premium. Expect to walk from your car to the festival grounds. I would like to suggest that if you are going to drive to the festival, that you consider parking on the side streets that are on the north side of Oak Grove Boulevard. For example, Maple Street. The Friends of the Trolley Trail, if you're a cyclist, the Friends of the Trolley Trail are going to provide a area on Arista for a bike corral, which is going to be simply a roped off area on Arista. There will be no charge for you to park your bike there. And then, let's see, bike repair station. Yes, I contacted the county about repairing our bike station. And so if you are in need of air, for example, for your tires on your bikes, that should be up and going. That was installed, I think, a year ago, and unfortunately it was damaged. So let's see, is it Scott? Yes, Scott will be taking care of that to make sure that it's repaired by the date of the festival. And then in regard to COVID, we are suggesting to everyone that masks will be optional. And let's see, the last item, which is very important, is that we are in need of volunteers, not only 1 week before the festival starts, but also for volunteers on the day of the festival. Let me share with you, for example, the 1 week prior to the festival, we are looking for volunteers, approximately 8 volunteers who would like to help clean up the weeds and also the dead leaves along the curbs of Oak Grove Boulevard. Oak Grove Boulevard doesn't look too bad, but we thought we would still tidy up since everyone will be our guest. We would like to start at 10:00 a.m. and only work for a couple hours till 12. And that will be on Saturday, July 9th. We are particularly interested in finding volunteers who own a weed whacker that is either gas powered or battery operated, and also volunteers who would follow the weed whacker and pick up the weeds and dead leaves behind them. We can be flexible with the volunteer time, so you don't have to work the entire 2 hours. Yes, and then Rich just told me before our meeting that he had sent out an email to members of the Oak Grove Community Council, as well as other people, with a link to the application to sign up for the cleanup of Oak Grove Boulevard. Let's see. The second volunteer opportunity is on the day of the festival, and we are looking for volunteers to perform various duties. For example, we need volunteers who will come before or help out before 11 o'clock, from 8 o'clock to 11 o'clock, to do various things, set up tents, tables, chairs, hang flags, lanterns, and tapestries, and even perhaps help check in the vendors. Also, there will be a need for vendor care volunteers. They will be helping out by taking care of the vendors. They will walk up and down Oak Grove Boulevard with cold water, for example, to hand out to vendors. Also, too, they can relieve the vendors to go to the restroom, so get them food. So however they need help, we need people who will be willing to do that. That will be from 11 to 4 o'clock. And then we will also need people who will be interested in working between 4 and 5 o'clock after the festival hours to help break down the tents and the chairs, tables, and the flags, lanterns, and tapestries. So if you are able to do any of those things, you can find that application, a link for that application, also in the email that Rich sent out this afternoon. You can also find both of them on the HDOG website. All you need to do is, that's the website address is hdog.org. And all you need to do is click on support and you'll find those two applications. Let's see. And I think that's pretty much it for this evening. So I appreciate your time and I'll take any questions or comments from anyone.
Jane?
Suzanne, regarding the volunteering, you said it's an application. Are there certain things you have to qualify for? Like, is there a background check or what does that mean?
Yeah, there will not be a background check on our volunteers. However, we are asking volunteers to sign a waiver that they will not act in an illegal way in any way. And so as far as the, what was your other question that you asked, Jane? Other than the.
That was it. That was
all. I thought you had, I was going to tell you something else that when you raised that question. As far as qualifications go, what you need to do is the only thing that we're asking on the applications is for you to provide us with contact information and to indicate, for example, the week before the festival, whether you are able to bring a weed whacker or pick up weeds and leaves. With that, I'm thinking that people who are interested in doing that would, or at least considering it, would think about whether or not they're physically capable of doing those two tasks. And then with the volunteers on the day of the festival, once again, we're asking for contact information. And also you'll find on that application the various tasks and a description of each. So that will help you decide whether or not it's something that you're capable of doing. Okay, thanks, Jane.
Also, Sarah has asked in the chat if there's a deadline for that application.
No, there's not. We will take applications up to the very day before the July 9th date and the July 16th date, if needed.
Rich? Sorry, Rich. Looks like you got muted.
Oh, is there a drop-off place for handicap, or is parking for handicap that's specialized?
Wow, you know what, Rich? Good question. I don't think that we gave that consideration. Let's see. It's not too late to do that, though. All right. We are putting together a map of the festival grounds to send out to the vendors and other people that the businesses and residents who live along Oak Grove Boulevard. And on that map, it will show designated parking areas for them, which are close by to the festival grounds. For example, if you know where the Boys and Girls Club is located, right next to New Urban High School on on Cedar right there. There are several parking spaces. And so I will talk to the committee about reserving handicap parking spaces for that particular area. I think that will be well. And then there's also the dental office, Rich, on the corner of Rupert, and also the church. In behind the church, there's going to be parking. So those would also be ideal places for handicap parking. Matter of fact, I'm going to inquire with the church to see if they already have spaces marked off for handicap. And also to question how many they have marked off, thinking that they may not have enough spaces designated just for handicap people. So thank you for bringing that up. I will definitely address that.
I think a drop-off place, like if you're not coming by yourself and you're handicapped, you need to park. But if somebody's coming with you, they don't necessarily need to park in a handicapped spot.
Oh, I understand.
But you can't walk the whole distance from wherever you do have to park, which might be a good distance.
I see. So you're suggesting instead of having designated handicap parking areas?
Well, a few designated spots for people who come themselves and need to park, but also just a drop-off place designated for people to drop people off, park their car, and walk back and meet them.
Yeah, I'm thinking that the best place, and we will note this in our instructions that we're going to publish to the public, that will note in our instructions that the best place for drop-off would be at Cedar and Oak Grove Boulevard. If you, let's see, you will be able to, Cedar or Oak Grove Boulevard will not be closed off. Let's see how I say this. Cedar will be open to through traffic. And so people, what they might want to do in that case is to, from River Road, take a left or a right onto Maple, and then follow Maple to Cedar, and then make a right turn on Cedar, and then drive to Oak Grove Boulevard, and that would be a good location to drop off.
Good, thank you.
You're welcome. Good question. Thank you.
Well, thanks a lot, Suzanne. I really appreciate you coming in and giving us this update tonight.
Okay.
And we're looking forward to the Trolley Trail Festival in mid-July. So thanks again for making the trip here and for putting all this together. We really appreciate it.
Okay.
Okay, and now up next we have Carrie Shanklin from the Clackamas Fire District. Carrie.
Hi there. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you so much for letting us come back and give some fire district updates and then some of our safety tips that are somewhat prevalent in the summer months. So the first thing that if you have questions, I can either just take them all at the end or, just try to remember them, and then we can cover all questions maybe as soon as we get through a few of the points. If something's really pressing, feel free to interrupt. It's no problem at all. So many of you might not be aware of this, some of you might be, but Clackamas Fire and Gladstone Fire have entered into a contract for full service beginning June 1st. We're very excited for this opportunity to serve that community, and we will be hosting an open house and kind of a town hall format at the Gladstone Fire Station, which is Station 22, in the next probably in the next couple of months. Unfortunately, I want to let you know that backyard burning is closed until the fall. We had, a lot of people were somewhat surprised about that because we had within the top 10 wettest springs that we've ever had. And so people were a little bit, hey, how come you're cutting off open burning? But we follow DEQ's advice and regulations. And so when they close open burning, which is traditionally on June 15th, then we also as a fire district stop open burning as well. But the good news is we do have chipper grants available, which can be a great alternative to burning yard debris. So if you're interested, I know that some of the people in your area applied last year, and what it is we had so much damage from the ice storm, previously, and then people were trying to clean up their property to reduce the fire hazard. And then they didn't, like, what do I do with all of the yard debris? And they wanted alternatives to burning. And so we have these reimbursement grants sponsored by the Clackamas Emergency Services Foundation, which lets people even pay people to clear away the debris, rent a chipper, chip up the debris. And so we do have some of those grants still available. Our call volume for the month of May was approximately 2,200 calls, and that is it's kind of on pace for the year. It's pretty much average, so nothing remarkable there. And we are reopening, as the kind of our whole theme as a fire district is we're starting to reopen and re-engage in the community after it's been a bit, but with 3 of our community meeting rooms are reopening for public use, and they will be the Station 10 meeting room, which is in Beaver Creek, Station 14, which is in Boring, and then Station 21, which is in Damascus. And so if you're interested in reserving a meeting room, there is more information on the clackamas.com the clackamasfire.com website. And then again, we're increasing our community engagement as we approach the summer. We have an event request form, which will be back up on our website. So if you're wishing for the fire district to come and visit one of your festivals, which we are planning on being at the Trolley Festival for a window of time, we're very excited. But you can request our presence on the website. One of the things that this is kind of disappointing, because it's one of my favorite things on the planet, is for the station tours where people come and visit the fire station. And right now those are still on hold just to make sure that the firefighters aren't exposed to any, like outside contaminants or contagions, and that they don't bring any contaminants to the public. So station tours are just on hold for a little bit. So now I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the prevalent kind of calls that we get during the summer months. And the first, you'll be so excited to find out that tomorrow the fireworks stands open. So with that inherently comes a little bit more risk for fireworks cause fires. And so the fireworks stands are open usually from June 23rd through July 6th. And with that, we just want people to be super duper careful. What a difference a year has made. Last year, I mean, this was the right preceding the 116-degree weather that we had, and it's been such a different spring that we've had. But we still want people to be very, very careful with their fireworks use and their campfire use, their barbecue use. And then the last thing I'm going to talk about is water safety. So we always kind of emphasize what's called the 4 B's of firework safety. And we want people to be prepared. We want fireworks stored out of the reach of children, read and follow label directions. I have children, they're a little older now, but I know we didn't always read the labels on the fireworks, but it makes sense to take some of those extra precautions. Put your pets indoors if they're easily frightened by fireworks, and then always have a water source or water available when you're lighting fireworks. We want you to be responsible after the use, and definitely we do this as a family. When fireworks go off, then we put them before they go into any kind of garbage. We soak them in a bucket of water. Dispose of used fireworks properly, and then never relight dud fireworks. Like that's where we get a lot of injuries that happen because people think that they're gonna, that one didn't go off, and they're so expensive, so you want to get your money's worth, and so people will try to relight them and then they can suddenly ignite. So we don't want people to do that. And we want people to be safe. An adult should always light the fireworks. Sometimes our adults are not very safe either, but we want a responsible adult to help the children light the fireworks. Keep matches and lighters away from children. Use fireworks. Some of these are so common sense. You got to forgive me for this, but use fireworks outdoors only. That is a very good idea. Light only one firework at a time and move away quickly. And then again, keep children and pets away from the fireworks. And then don't throw fireworks like, hey, watch this. Let's light it on our hand and try to throw it, because sometimes they'll suddenly ignite and then you get an injury to your fingers or your hand. And then be aware. We want you to use only legal fireworks in legal places. So Oregon's pretty restrictive. And so if you go across the bridge to Washington and buy fireworks there's a good chance they might not be legal in Oregon. So use the fireworks that you purchase at fireworks stands in Oregon. Those are legal fireworks in Oregon. And then fireworks are prohibited on all beaches, state parks, and state or federal forest lands. So not everyone's aware of that, but that's just how it is. So we want you to light legal fireworks in legal places and be very safe as you do it. So that's a little bit about firework safety. And then another kind of common area where we get injuries is or fire starting is campfire safety. And so a lot of times when there's a burn ban in an area, people, well, we've camped here for years, but this year, there might not be campfires allowed. So before you go camping, just check to make sure that the place that you're going actually allows campfire and that there's not a burn ban going on. And then never leave a campfire unattended. So that, like the number one cause of our residential fires in people's homes it's unattended cooking. And so, usually we don't get kitchen fires where people are standing there watching, what they're heating on the stove. But the same goes with a campfire. Don't leave your campfire unattended. Just make sure that someone's there. And then keep a bucket of water and shovel nearby. Make sure that you have these, quickly accessible. And then make sure when you leave, like you're getting ready to go, make sure that campfire is really, really out. Like we use the drown and stir approach where you put water on it and stir it just to make sure it's really out. And then this is something I didn't even think of, but don't stack wood too close to the campfire because you get those little spark embers that can actually start your firewood pile on fire. Opt for a smaller campfire, and then just again stay with your campfire. Another area that we get sometimes in the summer months is we have barbecue fires. And that I was a fire investigator for about 10 years. And it's really surprising how, sometimes you think like, oh, that didn't make a lot of sense, but we want to make sure that people don't push the barbecue right up against a house, or dispose of charcoal briquettes in a paper bag right next to a house. We really want you to be kind of, just a little bit of common sense is a good thing, especially when you're using a grill. Make sure that your grill is stable. Sometimes if they can shift or rock, they can tip over. Keep your grill clean. Look for propane leaks to make sure, like maybe we're just getting started into barbecue season. Just make sure that you that there's, if something smells like it's not right, it might not be right. If your flame on your barbecue goes out, wait to relight it, because the propane, the gas can build up. And so then if you, put a match or, a lighter and try to start it, it can give that little poof, and then people can suffer burns from that. Take care around the grill. Never leave your grill unattended. Be careful with charcoal starter fluid. I've seen a lot of people think that more starter fluid is better, but that is not always the safest approach. Wear the right clothing. Even in the kitchen, we like people to, like not wear super drapey, sleeves or bathrobes or, big coats or anything like that. And also know that if your clothes do catch on fire, if you're grilling or if you're near a campfire, then the stop, drop, and roll thing, that's real and it really does work. So just knowing what to do if you do have a fire. And then again, along with the the lines of, don't leave cooking unattended. Just be, what would you do? Have kind of a fire safety plan. If your campfire got out of control, or if your barbecue caught on fire, what would you do? Do you know where the fire extinguisher is? Is there sand or some other inert material that you could use that is close by that could help? And then the very last thing is water safety tips. A lot of the reason that we, know that these potentially could be a problem is the data supports it. Like in the summer months, we get more barbecue fires. In the summer months, we get more incidents, near drowning or drowning incidents. So nobody wants to go through that. So just knowing a little bit of prevention can save something that could be very tragic. So if you're swimming, we want adults to be swimming with kids. Like we don't want kids to just venture out and swim by themselves. So that whole buddy system is really important. We don't want kids to be unattended near water. We want kids to learn how to swim. That, my kids got to go to swimming lessons, and it was pretty important, just teaching them at least to be able to save themselves. They don't have to be Olympic swimmers or anything, but just, can they float? Could they save themselves if they needed to? We really encourage people to swim in facilities where there are lifeguards present. Swim with a buddy, and then of course wear a life jacket if you're on a boat, or if you're in very deep water. We definitely want kids and adults to wear a life jacket. And then the last thing with regard to that is learning CPR. If an incident did happen, CPR is a life-saving skill in so many situations. We have, we talk about fire safety a lot, but there are so many people that have cardiac incidents that if everybody could learn hands only or bystander CPR, then we could definitely save a lot of lives in that regard. So learning CPR is a fantastic skill to have as well. So those are kind of the main areas of injury prevention and fire prevention that we would just like to emphasize. Does anybody have any questions for me?
Rich, you're up first.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for all that information. The one thing that I want everybody to be aware of is with the fire season approaching and the smoke season approaching, there's the Clackamas County has a link to public alerts, and I encourage everybody to sign up for it. It's Clackamas County /DM for disaster management / public alerts, one word. But if you go to the Clackamas County website, you can find it searching for public alerts. That way, if something is coming toward us here in Oak Grove, your phone will ring and you'll get emails and your text messages, and you can prepare to do whatever we need to do. It's just an important thing to do. Just wanted to share that. Also, that the Oak Lodge CERT is going to be having first aid and CPR classes for those who are interested. I think it's July 30th. And if you need information about it, there's a Oak Lodge CERT Facebook page, and their email is oaklodgecert@gmail.com. That's it. Thank you.
Thanks for that, Rich. Actually, we did get a question in the chat from Heidi about whether Clackamas Fire offers CPR training to the public, and it's nice to know that CERT does. But Carrie, does Clackamas Fire District offer that training?
We contract out if somebody needs a certification for work, we can definitely teach people just the basics of hands-only CPR. If you guys wanted to get, a class together, meet and learn it, we can definitely do that. But we can also provide the name of a company. It's on our website. I think it's Cascade Health, that if they want to get a certification, then it's a class, and I think there is a fee. It's not terribly expensive, but I think it's maybe $25 to $40, but that would get you your certification.
Thank you.
Thanks, Carrie. Are there other questions for Carrie while we've got her here? Rich, I see your hand is still up. Nope, not intentional. Okay. Anyone else have any questions? Okay, well, I've got one question, which is what's the one thing that we're unclear on? We know that we don't want people letting off illegal fireworks, and often the illegal fireworks that you're talking about, they're not just illegal here for no reason. They're illegal because they're dangerous and they fly in the air and explode. And what's kind of the threshold for when members of the public should report illegal fireworks use in their neighborhoods? Because I know that's something that can be really overwhelming to dispatchers. And so, what really is the right threshold for when we would need to, contact the authorities about that?
So the non-emergency number is, like always an option if you're just so annoyed with, something that is happening and you're like, oh my goodness, they've been lighting these for, 4 hours and I'm pretty sure that they're illegal, then you can, make a non-emergency call. But if there's any threat to life safety, or if you feel like there's a fire hazard, like someone's lighting fireworks in, like you're pretty sure they're illegal and that it's right near tall grass that's dead, and like it's been a really hot day, if you feel like there's kind of a threat to life safety or a fire safety threat, then like if you think it's an emergency and you feel like somebody's gonna in danger, that would be the time to call 911. So you kind of have to weigh it. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's definitely a judgment call, but it's nice to have a little bit of guidance from from someone who's familiar with kind of trying to figure out when that actually rises to the threshold of requiring a response. So I appreciate your guidance with that.
Yeah, well, and in your on River Road, like when I first started as a fire investigator, I distinctly remember going to a fire that he lost his whole garage area, and it was caused by the neighbor kids shooting bottle rockets into a dry leaves and gutters. That if you are thinking about cleaning out your gutters, it's awesome to do it before like fireworks start. But in Oregon, you can only, if fireworks can't travel more than 6 feet like across a distance on the pavement, and they can't travel more than 12 inches of height. And so if there are huge fireworks going off and you're pretty sure that they're not legal fireworks, then go ahead and call the non-emergency number and say, I'm pretty sure nobody wants to have a fireworks fire, fireworks cause fire. So kind of a judgment call.
Yeah, I mean the exploding, the air launching into the air, the mortars that go up in the air and explode and rain down. That's actually a regular occurrence year round in my neighborhood.
Oh.
And so it's interesting to hear you say that that's the kind of thing that we should report, because I would be calling you every month.
Oh my. Well, and Happy Valley has implemented, they passed this, but there's an ordinance that charges $1,000 fine for people shooting off illegal fireworks. And so, and then it took a couple of years for people to actually get this $1,000 fine. And then all of a sudden, like the next year after that, there weren't as many illegal fireworks going off. So, it's something that if you wanted to like organize and get, something together, but it's a little stressful because there's just that fine line of, like you don't want to have a fireworks cause fire. You don't want anyone to get hurt. But then, it is challenging. So hang in there.
Well, yeah, again, appreciate the guidance. Thank you for that. Any other questions for Carrie while we've still got her? Awesome. Well, I really appreciate you taking the time to visit with us tonight, Carrie. It's great to see you again. And we hope to see you again sooner than a year from now, I hope.
Yes. Thank you.
It's been a while, so nice to see you. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Okay, well, we will move ahead into our committee updates portion of the meeting. And so first off, I'd just like to ask Rich if he has any updates from CERT or the CPO Summit.
Well, I have some from both. Basically, I talked about CERT, and you heard what we're doing with the trolley trail. We have 300 followers on our Facebook page, which is a new record for us. We're doing the training, which is a certification. There's a site cost July 30th. That's about it for cert. I think we had our repeater radio up a few weeks ago when we had our last practice. The CPO Summit, including CCI, Citizens for Community Involvement, met with the county commissioners a couple days ago. And the basic topic was the emergency preparation for the fire season and smoke. And we recall that Clackamas County is very large, and a majority of the physical county is rural. We're the urban area of it, and mostly what they discussed doesn't have a lot of impact for us, except that when they evacuate, they're going to come toward us. And so there's some thought being given in terms of the Emergency Preparedness Council. I am the chair of the Committee for Community Preparedness. So if anybody has any ideas on things they think that we should do or address in terms of community, the committee is for the whole county, but I welcome anybody to come up with ideas. And if you write to us at here at Oak Grove CPO, I'll get a copy of it. Or you can usually find me just by searching on Facebook or someplace. That was the basis of what we did at the CPO Summit and CCI and leadership, community leadership leaders, and all. It's all kind of merged together on one meeting. It looks like we will be able to have a here approximately once a month with the Board of County Commissioners, and we hope to address things like the timing involved in the LUART, the land use application process, and make it clear what's going on with that, and also addressing the issue of reimbursements. And if you look on our website, there's a link that I put on for the interactive maps for the county, for the CPO. And there's a lot of information there. Most of it's very old. And so I'm trying to find out how to get that updated through the county. But there's a link now on the website for that interactive map, so you can see exactly how large our Oak Grove is and where it begins and where it ends. That's it.
Cool, thanks, Rich. Up next, I'd like to ask Anita if she has an update from NCPRD.
Yes, I do. Couple of them. Because I'm so invested, like many of you are, in our future library, future park, and future community center at Concord, I felt that it would be really helpful if I were not only connected to the park aspect of it, but also to the library aspect of it. So I just got on the library board, so I'll be able to report in the future about the library board and also the DAC, and work my best and do my hardest, do my best to get a good marriage between the library and the park. And other than that, we had a couple of town hall meetings about a month apart that were, they were hosted by NCPRD, but they were generated by the community, just residents who are hoping to have more say in parks decisions. And the result of the last meeting, town hall meeting, was that we elected or selected 4 new members for the DAC, and they are awaiting approval by the governing board, which is the BCC. And we're also trying to work on getting an ongoing set of people. I don't know what we're going to call them, maybe core group or forums or something, people that will be advocating and working together in the community to host the future town hall meetings and also interact with the DAC and the BCC about parks matters. So if anybody wants to sign up for updates, you can sign up by writing to this email, which I'll put in the chat. It's Friends of N Clackamas Parks, the N being north, @gmail.com. And I will put that in the chat. And thank you. Any questions?
Questions for Anita? Oh, all right. Well, thanks a lot, Anita. I really appreciate your update.
Thank
And
you.
congrats on being appointed to the library board.
Thank you.
Let's see, up next, I'd like to, let's see, just really quick, Bob O'Hannon, are you present? Is there an update from the North Clackamas Watersheds Council? Oh, it doesn't seem like Bob is right there. So, okay, well, we will have the North Clackamas Watersheds Council Executive Director here to present with us next month as our main presenter for the July 27th meeting. So we can look forward to that. So I'll ask Heidi Bullock, do you have an update from the Oak Lodge Water Services District Board?
No, oh, sorry. No, I don't. We presented just last meeting, and I think you were absent, but so nothing since the last meeting, the last month.
Okay, thank you. And well, I think that actually takes care of our committee updates. So we will transition to announcements from the floor. So the floor is open. Are there any announcements? Feel free to use the raise hand feature in Zoom or just unmute your microphone.
Hi, this is Rich again, who you keep hearing from.
Yeah, go ahead, Rich.
I was asked to make a announcement for the Friends of the Oak Lodge Public Library that raffle tickets are available for a $50 Powell's gift card. Tickets are $2 for one ticket or $5 for 3 tickets. You don't need to be present to win on the 16th. And we will be selling them either at the trolley trail itself, or you can actually get them ahead of time if you go to the FOLPL, Friends of the Oak Lodge Public Library.org website. I believe there's a link there. And I'll put something in the next mailing that we have before the 16th.
Rich,
Yes.
Joan also wanted us to let people know that you can also buy the tickets at the library itself. So if you're in the library, you can buy these raffle tickets too.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rich. Any other updates from the floor? Okay. Well, it looks like we are actually wrapping up a little bit ahead of schedule here. Our next meeting is going to be, like I said, July 27th, 7 p.m. here on Zoom. And we'll be featuring the Neil Schulman of the North Clackamas Watersheds Council. We'll be talking about stormwater concerns and other matters of water quality. So, and then the next OGCC board meeting will be August 1st. And links are on our website at oakgrovecpo.org. So that's our show. Thanks, everybody. I really appreciate you joining us. And I think we got about an hour left of daylight, and it's still warm. Let's go enjoy it. Have a great night, everybody.
Good night.